Hi, we're just going to go for it. And today we're going to talk about astrology and also pull three cards, the trinity, the, um, the cards to see how it relates to the astrology. Let me see if I can share the screen. We're going to be talking about the weeks. This week is starting June 27th. And I'm going to pull this up right now. If you can see that, hopefully, yes. So this is the chart for the week of June 27th through July. So we have July, let me go here. Get to it, girl. Through July, please forgive me here. So the 27th through July, oh, come on. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4th. Oh, July 4th. So let's get started. As you can see, this is the chart and the sun is in Cancer. Everyone knows that. Maybe you didn't, now you do. So the sun's in Cancer, it's at 6 degrees today. And with Cancer, Cancer sign is about nurturing, and it's a water sign. And for all those Cancerians who are having a birthday, happy birthday to you this month. And we just got out of a full moon last week, and we're moving towards the new moon isn't going to be until the 20th this month. And so in the meantime, Cancer, sun, or the sun is in Cancer, is asking us, what do you need to build resilience with? And we need to be specific because of the fact that we want to know, like, questions are going to be coming up like, am I safe? And but also because it's working, and it's in the housing that it's in right now for the world. It's about showing that to being standing up and having a working with the having fun, also having fun and energized, having some energy with that, with those questions. What do I need to build resilience with? I mean, we must build resilience for and know what our values are. So let me go ahead and go over some of the aspects that I wanted to go over with Saturn here. So Saturn has an opposition to Mars today, and it's Mars is going to be hanging out in Leo. You can see Mars in Leo right here, and with the red line going across to Saturn, that Saturn is something that puts on the brakes, and you have Mars that wants to put the accelerator on. So that's where July, the end of this, the last couple days of June, going into July, we're going to be dealing with. So we need to, when there's an opposition, we're always better in the center. So it's like finding that balance and knowing where we need to steer our energy. And with Mars in Leo, our energy is going to be, if it's in Leo and you have Saturn here in Aquarius, it's we're having this conversation because it's in the air sign of Aquarius, and then it's there's a fire sign that's going to be helping out the Mars aspect. So it's going to be like we're going to be having these heated conversations that are also going to be talking about. I mean, Leo is a spiritual energy. I mean, it's where are we going and how are we doing it? We're inspiring creativity. So the creativity that we're getting inspired with and that we want to move with, and it's like pulling these tension rods on both sides. It's going to be like working our creativity in a how do I want to say, with Saturn, it's like I know a lot of astrologers want to say that we feel stuck. We may feel stuck, but the problem is that it isn't feeling stuck. I mean, it works really well when this is in an opposition, because our energy, Mars in Leo, which is creative energy, being opposed by Saturn gives us direction to our creativity. We're being able to have uh, information from the outside, the like a new inspirations coming from the outer realms, and where it's going to be productive for us. So I think this is a good aspect. I'm all for oppositions when they can give us attention. They give us challenges, but they also give us attention on these areas, so that we're not wondering what is going on. It actually is very obvious. And I'm all for being creative, and I love the aspect of having Mars in Leo, especially where in this chart you can see it's on the descendant, so we're able to really see that and witness it, with Saturn on the ascendant of this chart. It's it's a good start, like starting new. It's a new start, like and being self-aware of that. And right today the moon is in Aquarius. You can see the moon's in Aquarius at 21 degrees, and has some nice aspects here going. There's a sextile to Mercury here, with this little, his Mercury is the symbol here with the little ears on his head here. Mercury is in Gemini, and so so there's a good communication for our emotions, and we're able to communicate our emotions, and to be able to be aware of that, to the how we feel, and we can really be connected to that in a good way. Now, some aspects that are difficult, just only for the next 2 days, 2.5 days, we have moon is square to Uranus. That's also squared to, it has this triangular square action with the opposition, where you may find it difficult, as if you want something to happen right now, and like there may be some things outside of you, like if you're working with somebody, like they may say, okay, you can't do this, you need to do that, and it may spark some conflict, or some surprises, but it can move smoothly. It's just something that we find challenging. There's some challenges here to our emotions, so just take a pause, listen, and let's see what we can do to change that, because you can use your communications with the fact that Mercury is in sextile to this, and just get through the day with that. Moving on to, I wanted to talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is right. Where are we at? Where is Jupiter in the chart? Here it is. Okay, so Jupiter is still 2 degrees in Pisces, and Jupiter is the symbol. It looks like this really fancy 4. You can see the little R. It's in retrograde. So Jupiter is in a position now. It's an expansive planet. It's about education and travel, also learning on the outside of ourselves. Like we can learn from traveling. Not too much of that for some of us, for most of us, but it's still possible. We can still learn, have higher education on the outside, or there's that wisdom that can be found through some higher education that we can study on our own. We can study and have connections to that, where we have here. There's a sextile line to the sun that's in Cancer, so that's a nice communication line about like the oneness of Pisces, and the unity of Pisces, and with Jupiter in its home. It's in its home sign, original home sign. Jupiter is the planet that is now uh, um, in touch with Sagittarius, though in ancient astrology, Jupiter is is one of the planets that rules Pisces, which is that oneness, that spiritual unity of all. And with Jupiter, that's expansive, and it's going to be having the conversation with this with the sun in Cancer. And what's that saying? Is it's saying basically it's like we're still looking like what's going to make us feel safe, and also that home, that nurturing. So bringing about some ideas of a higher energy of what's going to bring us that feeling of comfort and safety, mothering, the the that's just going to be a large uh, signature at this time. And I'll go ahead and go over a couple more things. um, the 3rd of July, we're going to be looking at there's going to be a square. So I'm going to be talking about, so in the 3rd of July, we're going to be focusing on the square here of Uranus and Mars. So Uranus and Mars square. What we need to do is just be aware of tempers and frustrations. This the square just offers that signature. So if we're aware of that in the beginning of the month, we can that's going to, Mars is going to adjust and flip off of that shortly. But right now we need to be aware of that. I think it's just that frustration where we can feel our creative energy, and we can use that also to create new stability, new ways of creating value and in our lives, like maybe start a project, start a new hobby that you really can focus on and value, like so that you can release that energy. Or do you find that you're going to maybe want to I also see this as relationships. I mean, there's going to be like this also this some sexual frustration. We're going to be looking towards maybe a little bit of dating. If you're not already in a relationship, there may be this feeling, oh, I want to have a relationship, where the opposition of Saturn is saying, maybe have your stability first before you go and have a relationship. And Mars is saying, no, I want to do it now, especially being in Leo. And the fact that it's right on the descendant, which is marks the idea of, you'll be able to, you're going to be having these attractions right at this time in this the beginning of July. There is a smooth movement. Water is soothing. Cancer energy is very soothing, and you'll just be there's this feeling of connection, and it's the first water sign. It's connected to the moon. It's connected to our emotions. So we'll be able to feel that now. We're going to be also moving into a lot of fixed signs. You can see here in this lower chart here that a lot of the planets are in fixed signs, and that energy is going to it's like a stick through it. All the fixed energy, all the fixed planets are going to be into play here, the fixed archetypes. So we must build resistance to our values. We're going to be awakening our consciousness in an extreme way with this This is going to be staying here for quite a long time. Uranus in Taurus, that's Earth. It's like the Earth temperatures right now are very extreme. And with Uranus and Taurus, that is a fixed energy of extremes. And that's what's been going on, especially with this square. Like I said, it comes in different forms and it shows up in the world in different forms. And Uranus is beyond um, ourselves, you know, and but Taurus is this earth sign. So, and then we have the spiritual energy. We have the Leo signature here, spiritual energy. Where are we going? And you know, with the square that will inspire creativity, newness, and creativity, and it'll also have this balance. I see oppositions as this teeter-totter balance with Saturn. It's going to give us this information. There's just this creative tension in the heaven that with the fixed signs, so it's going to give us this change and this strength. It's very powerful. And then like, let's go into Scorpio here. Let's find you. So Scorpio is here on the top of the energy of the midheaven in this chart. Scorpio's emotions, it's like there's trauma, it's transcendence, it's toxicity. It's at the top of the chart, so it's going to show us what we need to work through as a midheaven signature. So that's it's going to be part of the overall world's character for the next week. Yeah, and then I want to go ahead and talk about this strong signature with Aquarius, with all the planets here in Aquarius. You have with Saturn, such a strong signature here on the ascendant. So what are we doing? It's like it's a water carrier. It's an air sign. So we're going to be a lot of thinking about, you know, about what's going on in the world and what are we doing. And then it's that humanistic aspect that carries the water. So like we are the humans that carry the emotions within us, and now that with the moon being there, it strengthens that. With the energy breakthrough, inspiration, it's going to continue to break out and break out. That's the square with Saturn and Uranus square. That's it's going to be energy breakout, feeling stuck, energy breakout, feeling stuck. And you know, if you're feeling that, we're all in this together. So yeah, I think that's there's also this inconjunct here that shows this little green digit line. So with an inconjunct, it's an aspect where we have like there's a like, so we have here, this is Venus, and then here is Jupiter with the inconjunct. It's 150-degree marker, and that signature gives us this unawareness that like what we value, what we feel loved by, you know, you know, is going to be like if we're working with our Venus, we're not going to be aware of our Jupiter. So like, you know, with that signature, like the fact that it's aspecting, there's a connection here, and then it's going to find where Venus is following up, and it's going to be catching up to Mars very shortly. Like it's hot on its trail. It's going to be finding it in Leo very shortly. And right now it's giving a message. It's Venus is getting this telepathic message from Jupiter saying, you know, like learn about yourself, know what you value, and what are your boundaries, you know, keeping a little keeping an eye on Venus, because she is going to be hitting onto Mars very shortly, right on the descendant, and that's where we're going to be looking for relationships. Like I was saying, there's, because of this tension, we need to have sustainability of our own. Venus needs to be self-sustaining, and having her discipline before she meets up with Mars, but it may not make it that way. It just depends on how your Venus is activated and how aware you are in on your journey through working your program, if you have one, if you're working on a program for yourself. We don't want to have codependence in here at this time if we're going to be meeting up. But if we do, let's just have some fun and know that we still need to be whole on our own, and not having codependency in our relationships, because that's not going to work. But all in all, I think that it's a very there's a lot of really good aspects going on. There's a lot of creative energy coming around. It's going to be here for a while. This Saturn square Uranus is going to be in this chart um, a, for a while. And there's also, what I didn't even talk about was the aspect with Pluto opposition to Venus at this time. So that's where there's changes happening beyond our control. And as Venus is letting go of things, like you can maybe, even if you're like going to be cleaning out your closets, there's going to be a lot of cleaning out our closets, a lot of getting rid of the things that we don't need. And then when we meet up with Mars, I really see that that's going to be a good connection, especially when there's this opposition with Saturn. Once she gets up there, they're going to be together, and it'll just be what it is. It depends on what your chart says, and where your when I do your chart, these planets that are in here are going to be on the outside of your chart. When you have your natal chart, I always have the transits on the outside, so that I can see where these planets are hitting onto your natal positions. So then we can see where and what your housing is going to be affected by the transit. So this way you can see where all of the where Saturn and the outer planets, and the moon will be ticking around depending on what day we do your chart. But I mean, that's going to be a constant change, along with some of the faster planets. But the ones that are going to be slower are going to be we're going to be able to tell where they hit on your particular chart. So I'll go ahead and stop share. I just want to say thank you. And if you have an interest in getting a natal chart done where we do the transits on the outside, it'll be basically similar to that, but it'll be your chart with the transits around, and then I'll be able to talk to you one-on-one with that. I do Zoom consultations, and I'll go ahead and put my email in the description below. I also do daily reading of 12-step program called Al-Anon, and I read those every day, and that's on another series, as well as learning A Course in Miracles. So I really appreciate all the subscribes and likes, and because it helps to reach other people who want to talk about some self-awareness. We're trying to wake up our consciousness every way we can, so that we can be in this, especially creative people, artists. I'm an artist myself, and anything we can do in order to inspire some meaning in our work, and yeah, all that. So We'll go ahead and settle in with the prayer. We can just, I like to end with the serenity prayer just so that we can be present. That's mainly what this is about, so that you can, with the astrology, we can kind of see what's going on, but it's really wonderful to be able to talk one-on-one and be present. And then you can start to get to know who you are with the planets included, and see what your aspects are and get to know who you are, right? So if I can help in any way, let me know. I'd really appreciate it. So, all right. And here we go. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Settle in. God, grant us the serenity. God of our understanding, our higher power, whatever that means to you. Grant us the serenity to accept the things we can't change, the courage to change the things we can ourselves, right, in our attitudes, and have the wisdom, Jupiter, to know the difference. God's will be done. Amen. All right, and I'll see you next week. I will show the chart again, and I mean, change it here and there, but this is the second video, and I'll see you next week and tomorrow if you follow along with the other videos. Bye. Love you. See ya.